All right, y'all. With all this misinformation and disinformation going on with diversity, equity, and inclusion, I wanted to go back to the main idea of what racism is so that we can reestablish our definitions, our concepts, and also to stand behind what we know to be true, which is that people taking away DEI is racist. It's racism. We've had these structures in place so that we can support people who have not had the power in society because they're not white to do the things that white people, white women like myself, can do with way more privilege. So let me get right to it. As per my school library's Gale and Context, racism holds that there are different traits and capabilities inherent to different races that justify a hierarchy in which one race is positioned as superior and has disproportionate social, political, and economic power over other races, i.e., white men, i.e., white women who are in proximity to white men, and so on and so forth. No scientific evidence exists to show any fundamental genetic differences between races. Let's go back to what RFK Jr. said about Black health and that there are different vaccines for Black people, which is absolutely absurd, disgusting, and racist. Okay? Race is socially constructed and reproduced through culture, law, policy, and practice. Racist beliefs, speech, and behavior can range from subtle and nuanced to overt and explicit. Racism manifests in everyday life and relationships and permeates social institutions, such as what do they want to cancel? The education department, criminal justice, and a phenomenon that's known as systemic racism, which is what we are observing in our government shutdown stuff with white supremacist Elon Musk. Okay. So, cultural representations, stereotypes, political rhetoric, class attitudes, and a variety of other forces can influence behavior in unconscious ways. Implicit biases are biases that influence people's beliefs, choices, and actions without their awareness or intent. I'm going to go so far as to say that we need to start calling out that the fact that racism is at the center of all of these things. So while we want to go and talk about what's wrong and what's going on, I think it's really important that we're explicit and we're not using our implicit bias to regurgitate what white media has done and continues to do in traditional media for years. And going on to, traditional media has historically provided racial minorities with limited media representation and has perpetuated racial stereotypes through its portrayals of different groups. Literally, DEI. Okay, and one last one quickly. The internet has created a space where racist content, hate speech, and identity based harassment appear regularly. Tech companies